UFC Vegas 90, we are back at the Apex, looking to keep this streak alive. We have been absolutely robbing the bookies blind all year 2024. So let's do it again this week. I did just drop my full card breakdown 2 days ago. This one is just going to be a quick 10-minute video just going over my picks and my bets for each fight of the card. So make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know what your favorite bet on the card is. Click the subscribe button. Turn those post notifications on. Let's get right into it, man. First fight of the night, we got Mullen taking on Nora. This is a fight where, honestly, I think Mullen should be the favorite. I think she should get the fight to the ground and most likely win this fight. I see a finish, so I was looking at the potential of under 2.5. That's live right now for plus 230. It's very rare I take an under in a women's MMA fight, but I honestly think on the feet, Cornole can find the finish. On the ground, Mullins can find the finish. Maybe even Cornole from her back. You know, it's a low-level women's MMA fight. I kind of like the under. I haven't bet it yet, but I did bet Cornole money line plus 290. Do I think she wins the fight? I don't, but that line is way off. This is a low-level fight. I do kind of like Mullins, but she's only got 6 pro MMA fights. So I like the under, but I haven't bet it yet. But I do like that money line, and I did go ahead and bet that. Next fight, we got Buka taking on Cesar Almeida. I just think Almeida's going to be doing the more damage here. Budka's going to be trying to stall, trying to hold him up against the cage. The judges are not scoring that right now. Give me the guy who's going to be out there looking to do damage. Am I a little worried about the inexperience? Yes, but both these guys are pretty green. I do know Budka, 24. You know, if anything, he's still a little, especially at middleweight, he's a baby. He's got time. I think this is a fight where on the feet, Almeida should be able to piece him up. Man, this is a guy 3 fights with Alex Pereira. I'm not trying to overestimate that, but after watching the fights, he's a high-level kickboxer, man. Sometimes he doesn't throw the most volume, but I think he can catch Budka. I think he can knock him out. I think he could even win a decision based off damage. Give me maybe not better, it's a closely lined fight, but give me the guy who's going to be looking to do more damage in a close fight, plus 130 on the money line. Give me Cesar Almeida. We move on. Another underdog. Next, we got Jean Matsumoto taking on Dan Argueta. Man, I like Matsumoto. He's well-rounded everywhere, but he hasn't fought anybody. This record is so padded. Argueta's fought the better competition. He's going to have a wrestling advantage. He's going to be the stronger, honestly, the more all-around athletic guy, especially early on. Maybe we have seen him get tired a little bit, but I think he can get on top of Matsumoto. I think he can find even, honestly, an early submission. But overall, I just think he gets on top. I am a little worried if it stays on the feet for too long, but I'm going to say Argueta gets the takedowns. I got him at plus 160. Those are back-to-back dogs. I did pick the favorite in the first fight, but I bet the underdog. Next up, we got Cynthia Calvillo taking on Pierre Rodriguez. Everybody's on Calvillo, but they got the early number. If you did your job. I do think that plus 175 is super live. She could win this fight. It's a close fight. It's probably going to decision. I did not get in on that early big plus money on Calvillo, and overall at these odds, I think it's fair. Rodriguez just, in a better place in her career at this point, so I will slightly edge Rodriguez, but I, think it's 50-50 coin toss. I parlayed up the fight goes to decision with another over and a fight coming up, so I do have the over. It was minus 275 when I parlayed it. We'll go over the other side of that parlay, or the other leg of that parlay in a second. But that is a 50-50 fight if I've ever seen one. Next up, we got this fight was just booked. Pedro Falcao taking on Victor Hugo. Victor Hugo was supposed to fight Haley Alatang, or Alatang Haley. But, yeah, man, Pedro, good grappler. Some fights I've seen him get super tired. Other fights, his gas tanks look pretty good. Overall, the short notice does worry me, but he does live and train out of Vegas currently, so I'm sure that helps him. Honestly, overall, I got to go with Hugo, and if they're giving you this line, he started as a big favorite, but it's worked its way down, and I get it. Falco could get on top, could, definitely use his grappling, even though Hugo's not a bad grappler himself. Falcao also does have power. He could catch Hugo. But honestly, overall, I think Hugo is the better fighter. He's coming in on a full camp, even though I do think Pedro's probably prepared. There's a level there being in shape and being in fight shape. So give me Hugo overall, but the money line, if that comes down to like even money, maybe I will take Hugo, but I'll probably just pass. I think Falcao is legit, and I want to see him more. I do think he's dangerous. It just aren't the this isn't the setting where I want to take him. If you got him at like plus 175, like I saw, maybe there was even a wider line. Again, you did your job. But at this line, I'm going to lay off of it. Next up, we got Norma Dumont. Yeah, I don't really have any bet on that unless the line for the Hugo comes down enough. But next fight, Norma Dumont, Germaine de Randami. And like I said, this line was way wide. Minus 200 is crazy. In her prime, Germaine would piece Dumont up. Dumont's not dangerous. She's not like excellent anywhere. She's just well-rounded. On the feet, Germaine in her prime would light her up. But, she is 39, about to be 40 in a month. Just 3 weeks. She hasn't fought in like 3.5 years. As this line is crept down, because now I see Norma like minus 135. It is kind of tempting, man. You know me, I'm typically dog or pass in women's MMA unless we're talking like championship level fighters. But, I'm kind of tempted to lay like mine. If this goes to like even money again, it's kind of tempting. I think Dumont should win. She's just a younger, fresher girl, been more active. I think it's probably just going to be a fight on the feet, but which does, Germaine's the better, slicker striker, but tempted on the Dumont. But overall, this was the second leg of that parlay. I parlayed the over. Fight goes to decision. Minus 275 as well. That made it minus 116. The two women's fights there. I like both those fights to go to decision. I do edge Dumont, but no bet as of yet besides that over. Next up, we got Court McGee taking on Alex Morono. I thought about playing the over. I see it like minus 105. It's tempting, but I haven't bet it yet. Overall, I think Alex could catch him. Court's always been durable, but in his last couple fights, that's obviously not been the case. But those are guys that are typically more dangerous than Alex Morono. But I do think Morono could open up more because there's not going to be a huge threat on the other side. So if he does, I could see a finish. I could even see McGee get subbed for the first time. I think knockout and subs live. So I should probably stay away. But that minus 105 on the over in a Court McGee fight is a little tempting. Haven't bet it yet. I will pick Alex Morono. That method of victory could go a lot of ways, man. I'm going to say TKOs, and which is why I'm going to stay off of it. But, man, it is tempting. Next up, we got Trevor Peek versus Charlie Campbell. Man, I think Charlie Campbell should be the favorite, but this starting to come down. I don't think I'll bet it, though. I think Peek is very live. I do think Campbell's the more technical guy everywhere, on the ground, on the feet, in the clinch, but Peek is just a dog. He's the definition of a dog, man. We've had 3 weeks where there's somebody, Nate Landwehr? Before that, who was it? I can't even remember, but, just classic dog-style fighter. He's not the most technical, but he's just going to fight for your money. I don't blame you for taking Peek by KO. Overall, I'll pick Charlie Campbell, the more skilled guy. Probably just going to be a straight-up pass for me. I don't like any of the props I'm seeing on this fight. And I don't know. We've seen Charlie Campbell get knocked out by a guy who, fights similar enough to Peek. So I could see it happening. But next fight, we got Lucas Brzeski taking on Walter Walker, Johnny Walker's brother, even though they look nothing alike. But Brzeski, man, this line has came way down. I got him at plus 310. Hopefully some of y'all got on that early with me. I saw some people get plus 350. Shout out to you. You killed it there. I had a couple decent snags on this card. I was really happy about this one because it's all the way down to like plus 220 now. Maybe plus 230. But yeah, man, I do think Walter Walker probably wins this fight. Probably wins by ground and pound or decision. Probably just gets on top. I don't like the grappling from Brzeski, but it's a sloppy heavyweight unranked fight between two low-level guys, and you gave me 3-1. That's just like a system play for me. You never hear me say that phrase. It's very rare. But that is one. You can give me a low-level unranked heavyweight fight where a guy clearly has a path to victory. And not to mention, he's looking like this post-USADA era might be bringing back old Brzeski. So give me plus 310. Brzeski, I wouldn't play it at this point. The line's honestly gone. But if you got in on it with me earlier in the week, congratulations, especially if you got that 350. But no play at this point, but give me Brzeski plus 310. Next up, Ignacio Bahamondes versus Christo Giagos. Man, I got Bahamondes. I think he should win this fight. I think the line's pretty justified. I thought about Giagos. Maybe he can get that early, get on top, ground and pound sub. But overall, it's just going to be a pass for me, man. I was thinking, maybe I'll be slick and get Bahamondes by sub. Apparently, everybody's on it. It's like plus 350 and a guy who doesn't typically even submit people. So, nah, I'm just going to be a pass. Give me Ignacio Bahamondes, TKO. I'm going to lay off of it, though. Honestly, I could see the sub, though. Next up, we got Morgan Charrier. Man, I've been saying this wrong all week. Charrier I think that's it. Versus Chepe, Mariscal. Everybody loves this Mariscal. He seems to be the dog of the week. Overall, I got to go with the more skilled guy. I just think Charr, just probably the more technical guy. I get it. Chepe, again, kind of just has that dog style like Peak. But, obviously, that we saw between them two, Mariscal probably the better guy, the more technical guy out of the two. But, I'm going to go Morgan Charr. But I just think it's a complete pass for me, man. Maybe if it flipped to him as an underdog, I'd bet it. But at this point, I just think it's going to be a close competitive fight. Give me Morgan, but I'm going to pay off of it. Or I'm going to stay off of it. Co-main event, we got Alexander Hernandez versus Damon Jackson. Yeah, man, this is a fight. I do think Hernandez should be the favorite, but he's just been so unreliable, man. Like, it makes me think Damon is live. The thing is, Damon just never been super durable. Doesn't have a chin. And Alexander Hernandez does hit hard. He's super explosive. Early on, he's going to be super dangerous for Damon here. If Damon can get out of it, I was thinking maybe Damon 3.5, the handicap, plus 100, just he has to win like that third round and not get finished. It's dicey, man. But Jackson slowed down himself. The durability's not great. I'm going to lean Alexander Hernandez. I was looking at Hernandez KO. Nah. I was looking at, Jackson moneyline or Jackson 3.5. Nothing yet. I'm tempted, but nothing yet. I'll let you guys know on Twitter if I do change my mind, but nothing on that one yet. In the main event, though, Brennan Allen, Chris Curtis, I'm going to keep it simple, man. I'm going to go with the guy at plus 181 who knocked this guy out the first time they fought. I do think Brennan Allen is the bigger guy. He's made more improvements. That's all fair, and I get all that. I just think styles make fights, and Brennan Allen's hittable. He's not going to come out here. Maybe if he can get Chris Curtis down in the first, but if it goes later on, he's just going to have too much respect for the wrestling and Chris Curtis to really shoot too much. He doesn't want to tire himself out. And if he does, it could just help us get that finish for Chris Curtis. I just think Chris Curtis is going to catch him and knock him out. I think his style just works well against Brennan Allen. He's durable. This is 5 rounds. If it was 3 rounds, I could see Brennan Allen skirting around the outside and winning by points. But I don't see him doing that for 5 rounds. Maybe he can get to his back and submit him, but Chris Curtis has some of the best takedown defense in the UFC right now. And I honestly just think this is a bad stylistic matchup for Brennan Allen. So give me the underdog, plus 181, Chris Curtis, already bet it. I was looking at over 2.5. It's kind of tempting, but nothing yet. I think it does end in like the 3rd or 4th. I think Chris Curtis will catch him later. But no bet. It could be an early finish, and, it's possible from either side, and it's like minus 150. Just probably going to lay off it. I like the over 2.5, but it's just not the line. If it was like even money, I would do it, or like, minus 120, but probably just stay away. But give me Chris Curtis by KO, 3rd round. Those are my picks and bets, man. I'll run through the bets one time. I got Cornole plus 290. I got Almeida plus 130. I got Argueta plus 160. I got the parlay between the women's prelim fights with the Germaine fight and the Cynthia Calvillo fight. Parlayed that up for minus 116. I got Brzeski plus 310, and I got Chris Curtis plus 181. There's some other bets I'm looking at, as I talked about in the video. If I play them, I will let you know. Let me know in the comments your favorite bet. Let me know on Twitter. Hit me up. I always love going back and forth, whether it's in the comments or on Twitter. Click the subscribe button. Click that bell. We do these for every single card. I appreciate you guys, man. Let's keep this winning going, man. We've been on a tear. I've been putting in fucking endless hours on this. Oh, one for the bookies. I forget half the time because, right before I start these videos, I have a nice little sesh. So, we spoke at the bookie pack this week. Again. Let's get it. Make some money. I appreciate you guys. Good luck. Enjoy the fights. I will catch you guys on the Twitter sphere, on the X. Until then, peace.